Welcome, everybody. So tonight we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, and it's about building confidence, sharing the career opportunity. Now, it's great when you run across somebody at a skincare class or at a facial, and they say, you know what? I've always thought about doing something like Mary Kay. Can you tell me more? And you try to not come completely unglued with excitement and go, I'll tell you everything. And then we tend to regurgitate a lot of information. So that does happen. I'm not going to say it doesn't happen. It does happen sometimes, but the reality is more times than not, it's about us layering information, layering information so that people can know more about Mary Kay. So let me show you some things that can help you build confidence when it comes to sharing the career opportunity. All right. So a couple of things I'm going to share with you are props. This first one is on section 2. And it's like a placemat. It talks about here, totally fun. Number 1, it fits your life. Number 2, be who you want to be. Number 3 is lets you sell products you can believe in. Number 4, share the heart of Mary Kay. So I have actually seen several consultants and directors laminate this, both sides. Of course, the opportunity is on the other side. They laminate this and they use this as a placemat to, one, protect the hostess's table in case you set a wet washcloth, but it's also great advertising, right? And so somebody might literally slide it off and start just reading it because it's there. So that's another subtle way you could layer information. Just take these into FedEx Kinkos, do 6 or 8 of them at a time, laminate them. And anytime the company runs a promotion, if it isn't 35 to start and it's 20 or whatever, you can always say, oh, this month there's a special. But normally I would just buy these. These are on section 2 and they are a lot cheaper to buy them from the company than for you to go run them off. I don't know what FedEx charges, but these work out to be roughly 10 cents a piece. So, and then just go get them laminated. So that would be one of the first things that I would do. Okay. So that kind of helps you. And I always put the side of them joining face down. So this is the side that faces up that has the 4 reasons why people would join. So that's one of the first things I would do. The second thing I would do, and I'm going to screen share something really quick for you. Hold on, I have to find it here. Sorry, just give me one quick second. And I'm going to have you guys all mute because I am recording this. So hold on. Is it on here on boards? Give me one second. It's not cooperating. So this is a sheet. Now I take tickets like this to every party, right? And I give them a ticket just for showing up. And then I play ticket games throughout the party. But sometimes what I've been doing recently, because I really want to do a lot more team building, is I've been bringing a second prize just for the team building conversation. So I might do a different ticket or say, well, these first tickets are going to go for this. And you can do different things, but you could also start your party or while the charcoal mask is drying, do this. And the thing would be to ask them questions. So I'm going to share with you a really fun sheet. I just found this as an Erin Marlowe graphic, and I pay for Erin Marlowe, so I can share this. But this is something that I am running. I ran off 50 of these on light green paper, and I'm putting them in every single reorder bag. And it says reasons to join Mary Kay. So let's say you decided you wanted to say, okay, you guys, we're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to play a game. And I want you guys to think of words that start with either D or F or, whatever. And you could make them guess, or you could say, there are 7 reasons why people look at Mary Kay for the holiday selling season. And I'm going to tell you what the words are, and you tell me what you think they mean. So you could say demand, and they might know what that means, or flexibility, or whatever. Or you could just go around the table and literally hand this and say, could everybody just read a square? And one person's going to say discount. So it makes your lot, blah, 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 flexibility, profit, friendship. And so what you could do with that, if you give them each a copy of this at their place setting, is you could say, I'm curious from this group or your age group or whatever. I want you to put circle the 2 that will be the most important to you, like you as a person. And I know you may not be interested in Mary Kay in a million years, but I'm kind of doing some of my own research, and I'm trying to figure out what women in today's world are really looking for. Because I know I keep hearing flexibility is one of the top ones, but I'm curious. I don't want to taint your opinion. So just circle the top 2 or maybe 3 that would matter to you. And I realize that you may or may not be interested in Mary Kay in a million years, but I'm just curious, if you were to ever start a side hustle, what would be your reasons? I never promote, if you would like to get all your Mary Kay at half off, because I don't know about you, but I don't want a team of 25 people, all that are coming in just to get the 50%. Now, don't discredit the people who come in just for the 50%. I was one of those people who came in just for the 50%. And I even said to my sister, just so you know, I'm not going to do anything. Don't have Mary Kay call me. I don't know who I thought I was, but Mary Kay was definitely not going to call me. I said, I don't want any pressure. I'm going to place an order for the stuff that I use, my roommate uses, and the girl in the apartment downstairs uses. And that's all I'm going to do. I don't want to team build. I don't want to do anything. And she said, that's fine, Diane, do whatever you want. And I recruited under my sister. I was her third recruit so she could become a red jacket for a contest. I did it to help her. That was my number one reason, was I did it to help her. The second reason is I did it for the 50% discount. When I found out the discount was 50% and I'd been buying it for full price for a year, over a year, I was extremely motivated. When you're broke, half off is way better than retail, right? So don't discount the 50%. So what I would say to them is say, I'm assuming all of you are going to probably circle the first box, because I can't imagine anybody wouldn't want to get 50% discount. But aside from that, what are the other two that would be most important to you? Because nobody in their right mind is not going to say that 50% off isn't enticing, like, right? So this is, again, something you could put in your reorder bags. You could hand this out at a skincare class, and you could say, everybody gets a ticket for reading a square, and I need 7 squares. So if there's only 3 people at the table, say, who wants to read some of these? You get a ticket for every square you read. And one girl might go, I'll read them all. And it's like, okay, well, that's the one who I'm going to recruit. So if she takes it, she's also prize motivated. So if she reads all 7 squares, I give her 7 tickets. All they want is more tickets than their friends, gang. So this goes over all the reasons why people would want to join. Now, this is loaded up on boards. You can run it off, but it's got mentorship, priorities, profit, friendship. And I wouldn't elaborate more on these. I would just go with this, because what happens is what you're trying to do is you're trying to like let them sample it and take it away. It would be like if I had a box of Girl Scout Thin Mints and I broke the cookie into like an eighth of a cookie, like a little itty bitty piece, and I gave you that Thin Mint, and then I walked away with the box. You'd be going, excuse me, could you come back with that box of cookies? That little bite was amazing. And so I want them, I'm not going to stand there when they read discount and say, well, I joined for the discount over 30 years ago to help my sister, blah. They don't care. They want to get their faces washed. They want to get out of there. So I would just have whoever wants to get a ticket, read the box, and then talk about, literally let them read the 7 boxes. It comes different when it comes from them. So what you could do is give them each a sheet at their place setting and have them each, so whoever wants to read a box, you get a ticket. And then say, I'm curious, you guys, I'm just doing some research. Would you guys circle, I'm assuming you all are going to circle discount, but would you all circle your top 2 or your top 3? Because I'm curious. So if everybody puts down flexibility out of the table of 5 people, then that's telling you that in today's world, at least for that demographic, whatever that demographic is of women you're working with, that flexibility is important. So I think this sheet is a great sheet for putting in your reorder bags. I just run it in black and white, but I run it on colored paper. So I'd probably run it on green, just light green paper or pale pink paper, and just run it black and white. So that's another resource of what you can do. Now, the other thing that's very, very powerful is at the very, very beginning of the class, when you're introducing yourself, to layer some information about team building is what I would do. Is I would start with Thea Elvin, excuse me, decades ago, taught me this. It's a way to do an I story. Now, an I story is basically your story, but you guys, we don't really want it to be a story. We want it to be brief, concise, and short. I went to help a new director do some kickoff parties anyway, and so she stood up there, and nothing against her. She's an amazing woman, but she did her I story in 10 minutes. People were literally picking up and starting checking their phones and doing other stuff. They weren't listening to her. And I don't know about you, but I want it to be the Girl Scout cookie method, where I give them a little and then I take it away. So here's what's interesting. Let's pretend, and I'll use, excuse me, I can see different faces on here. Well, I'm going to use Melanie as an example. Let's say Melanie walks on an airplane. She's dressed really sugar sharp. She's in a skirt. Nobody travels in a skirt. And the flight attendant looks her up and down, and she's got a great $1 million smile and beautiful eyes. And she looks at her and she says, excuse me, are you traveling for business or vacation? She's like, oh, I'm traveling for business. And she says, wow, you look really, really sharp. You'd be great as a flight attendant. And Melanie's looking at her, and Melanie's like, okay, well, thanks for that. And she says, well, you know what I'd love you to do is, would you just watch what I do tonight? Maybe this might be something for you, or I think you'd be great as a flight attendant. Melanie's going to go back to her seat. Let's say Melanie and I are flying together, and Melanie's going to go, do you know what that lady said to me? She thought I'd be good as a flight attendant. I have no interest in being a flight attendant. And I'd say, well, I can't believe she said that to you. Yep, neither can I. But guess what Melanie does the entire flight? She watches what the lady does. And she says to herself, oh, I could hand out a drink. Oh my gosh, I could hand out a bag of peanuts or pretzels or whatever. Oh, I could do this. I could do that. And she's, even though she's not interested, supposedly, Melanie's going to watch this lady because the lady said to her, well, you know, if you would watch what I do during the flight and see if you might be interested. Now, Melanie could be completely uninterested. She's still going to watch. So what if you could create that same desire, that same, I literally tell my customers, I tell my consultants this all the time. I don't chase people, people chase me. And I also say that as a mantra to myself because I never want to come across, I'm 5'11", a lot of energy most of the time. And I never want to come across as pushy and aggressive, but I want them to chase me. So I might start a skincare class just like this. I'd say thank you guys so much for being here tonight. And Melanie, thank you for opening up your beautiful home. And I smell something in the oven. It smells like apple pie maybe or something. Apple crisp. Oh my God, I love that stuff. So you guys are all going to get treated when we're done. But I want to share with you, I'm so glad that Melanie offered for each of you guys to come and get pampered tonight. And just so you know, I have, and if you're new in Mary Kay, you don't need to say, oh, this is my first skincare class. I've been doing Mary Kay a week, or I've been selling Mary Kay for a week. We never say we're selling Mary Kay. We say we're going on our first year, because every day from your day one until that 1 year anniversary, you are going on your first year. So I would just say, because I've been doing this a long time, and say, well, I just want you guys, thank you, Melanie, for having us here. What's in the oven smells amazing. And I want to tell you guys a little bit about what we're going to do tonight. We're going to go through satin hands and satin lips and do some pampering. We're going to go through skincare. Then when you leave, your face is going to be ready for bed. We're going to play a ticket game, and I have 2 amazing prizes, and they can go to the same person. So you want to get as many of these tickets as possible, and you already all have a ticket at your place setting just for being here. And I want to tell you, just so you know a little bit about me and the company, our products are made in Dallas, Texas. We are a family-owned, debt-free corporation, and we've been in business 61 years. And we didn't get shut down during COVID because the FDA the government contacted us and asked us to make hand sanitizer. And to stay open, within 7 days, we were making hand sanitizer, and it is now part of our product line. In fact, there's a bottle right there in the center of your table. Feel free to spray your hands and check it out. But I want to tell you one of the reasons why I'm glad I'm here to pamper Melanie and her friends is because I fell in love with this product over 30 years ago. Nothing had worked on my skin. I loved it. So the reason I joined was because, so my goal is to get this out in 3 sentences, past, present, future. I joined Mary Kay because I loved the product. I couldn't really afford it because I was a broke college student living on top ramen and cans of tuna. So I joined to get it at a discount and to help my sister who was in a contest to get her 3rd team member. The reason I stayed is because I love the product, but freedom and flexibility, I didn't realize how motivating that was. So with a bachelor's and a master's degree, I did 3 years of corporate to realize I'm not wired to be in corporate. I'm really wired to be an entrepreneur. So I walked away from my corporate job, and in less than a year, we had earned our first pink Cadillac. And so now you guys, if you don't have a car yet and all that, you don't need to say that, but you have your own story to tell. So why I joined was for the discount and because I love the product. Why I stayed in it is because I love freedom and flexibility. That is my heartstring, is to be able to design my life and design every day however I want is amazing. And what I look forward to is being able to do this until whenever, like forever. I want to take care of my customers, my team, and it's a culture. It's a sisterhood like nothing else. And the camaraderie and the support. So I'd love for you guys, watch what I do. I'm looking for some consultants in the area. I'm looking for at least a couple people to join my team. I'm looking specifically for one that's bilingual. And I'm also looking for a stay-at-home mom. So if you guys know of anybody, but please watch what I do and just let me know if you'd like some more information. All right, let's get started by washing your face. So I try to do past, present, future. So why I joined, why I've stayed this long. Now let's say you've been in Mary Kay 2 years, and you might say what I've enjoyed the most about the last 2 years is the personal development and self-development and personal growth. I had no idea that I was so scared to public speak until I joined Mary Kay, and I was supposed to talk in front of 2 people, and I almost got sick. And so I have been so grateful for the the personal growth it's given me. A lot of women aren't excited about where they are in life. And so self-development and personal growth is a really big thing. So you could bring that up and just say, what I'd love for you guys to do is you all have your hashtag party board. If you're thinking, you know what, I'm just curious. I wonder how much money this lady makes. I wonder what the discount is. I wonder how Mary Kay works. On that number 3 on your board, just write the word info. It doesn't obligate you to anything. All it says is, you know what, I'm curious. Give me some info. Now, when I changed what I did, because initially, when I give everybody a hashtag party board like this, and I would do 1, 2, and 3, on number 3, I would say, if you've ever thought about a side hustle or you want some more information or you've considered starting a business with Mary Kay, just write down yes. And if you're absolutely not interested, write down no. Well, people would either write down no or they'd leave it blank. I would say probably more than half the ones I got were left blank. I think they almost thought that yes, maybe it was the way I worded it, that yes meant they were wanting to join Mary Kay. And that's not what I meant. I meant yes being I'm interested. So I changed my wording to be no or info. And I say, you know what, if you're curious, maybe you're a little nosy, maybe you're thinking, I wonder what her discount is. I wonder if there's a quota. I wonder how much they have to do each month, or I wonder how, how much self-development and how much mentoring and coaching is there. Do they help you find a clientele base, or is like, how does it all work? If you're curious, there's no obligation. Just write the word info. And when I get hashtag party boards back now, I'd say probably about 65 to 70% say info. And that's all I'm looking for, is I'm looking for the word info, because that tells me they're curious. Okay. And again, another great way to do that is, again, if you wanted to do tickets and say, okay, I'm going to give out 3 more tickets. There's 4 things to read. Who wants to read these? Because they don't know what they don't know. Someone says, I'll read them for some tickets. It says, okay, number 1, it fits your life. And she can just go over the headlines. Number 2, who wants to read that one? So you're not reading these, because when you're reading to them, it's almost like you're preaching to them. So give them a ticket for reading these. So you could do these. The other ones are really more seasonal. They have to do with why join during the holidays. And you could even, just by doing this thing, is say one of the reasons why women are joining now is because they want all their holiday shopping at a massive discount. And you're going to be seeing relatives during the holidays that you don't normally see the rest of the year. So it's a perfect time to kind of get your feet wet. So again, the hashtag party board again. So when I close, let's say I'm closing with Melanie and I sit down and she has the word info written on here. That's the first thing I look at. And I also look at number 2, whether they want to book a party. But number 3 is truly my passion. And so if it says info, I'd say, Melanie, oh my gosh, I had so much fun with your friends tonight. What was your favorite part of tonight? And she'll tell me, I go, how does your face feel? And if you touch your face, they touch their face. And then I say, Melanie, I saw that you wrote the word info on here. What made you curious? Like, what did you hear that you thought, I'm going to write down info? Was there something specific? And she might say, yeah, you mentioned flexibility and self-development. And I was always a little shy as a kid. So something like that really appeals to me. And I'd say, okay, great. Could you see yourself doing what I do? And if she says, I think I could, and say, so what's one thing you're not going to purchase tonight that you really have high on your wish list? Like eye makeup remover, micellar water, is there anything, or CC cream? And she go, oh, CC cream, absolutely. I'm not going to get that tonight. I'm just going to get skincare. Say, great. What if we met for coffee tomorrow? And I'm happy to bring you a CC cream as a gift. She's like, are you kidding? Say, no, I think you're super sharp. And I look for super sharp women. You're somebody who I would really enjoy. Having you on my team. So these are a couple things that you guys can do to layer. So now when you put it in your reorder bag, okay, this is important, and you're dropping it off at the customer's house or in her office, if you have the opportunity to talk to her for just a minute, you might say, by the way, I tucked a flyer in there because I'm building one of the fastest growing teams in Solano County or whatever county you live in. And I say, so I'm building one of the fastest growing teams in the county. And you are just somebody who I've always enjoyed taking care of as a customer. And I don't know, I thought maybe you might be interested in either some extra cash, extra tax deductions, or just something fun on the side. But would you at least look at the flyer and give me your opinion? And she'll usually, if she's a customer, she'll go, of course I will, Diane. I say, great, I really appreciate that. Because women are joining for all kinds of different reasons. And so again, I'm planting that seed. I don't want to just put it in there and have her throw it away. Does that make sense? So you can play ticket games at the party. You could laminate. So imagine this. You've got this laminated, right? It's underneath her tray in a mirror. And it says in the corner of it, totally fun. She's going to be nosy. This is what I would do. I would slide my tray and mirror out of the way and I would start reading this myself. Regardless of what the girl in charge of the party was doing, I would just want to know what this says because I'm just curious, right? And then you've got tickets. So you're going to be giving out tickets to do stuff. And then you're going to look at this hashtag party board and see if she writes down info. And then you can just do that little seed planting, like what the flight attendant did to Melanie when she walked on the plane and said, have you ever thought about doing what I do? I think you'd be great. You know what? Why don't you just watch what I do and tell me what you think? No obligation, right? And so then that's where you're going to go and have that opportunity to share with her a little bit more. Now, this just happened to me where the hostess was the daughter, the 20-year-old daughter, and the mom, who is 42, said right at the beginning, she goes, I don't know, I've always thought about doing something like this. I'm going to retire early and this might be something fun. And her daughter goes, Mom, you'd be so good at this. Now, I'm sitting there going, okay, how much of this do I want to, continue to fuel? And so what I kept saying is I said, well, if somebody in the family decides to do this, I would turn everyone from the party over to you to service. And they're like, oh, okay. And then they started asking me more questions, and I did the ticket game. And I said, you guys can ask me any 5 questions about the company, anything about Mary Kay, the person, her age when she started, like anything you want to know about the company. I'll give, and I pull out 5 tickets and I'll say, I'll take 5 questions. Now, if they ask you a question you don't know, obviously don't make up the answer, but they'll say things like, where the product's made, or what's your discount, or how do you get trained, or, whatever. So the point of it is, though, is it's a great way to layer information. So for you to build confidence, I think all of these things can help, between the laminated placemat, the hashtag party board, the sheet that has the holiday things. Let somebody read it at your party. If you gave everybody a ticket, you're going to have someone who's a ticket hog who says, can I just read all 4 for 4 tickets? I'm like, yeah, as long as nobody else minds. And someone might go, well, no, I want to read 2 because I want 2 tickets. It's like, okay, now they're fighting over who's going to read the marketing material. That's a good thing, right? Okay, and then when you're done, you're walking out of the house and you say to Melanie, I'm going to send you a quick video. It's only 4 minutes. It's called Mary Kay Turns 60. It was made a year ago in our company. I just want you to notice the diversity, both age and ethnicity, the diversity in it, and just give me your opinion. It's 4 minutes. But would it be okay if I text that to you? And she'll go, sure. So when I get out to my car, guess what I'm going to do before I pull out of her driveway? I'm going to text her that video and say, I'm about to drive home, but I'd love to know your opinion. Why don't you give me a call in the morning and I'll see you for coffee at 10? Because if you guys have ever watched that video, it's only 4 minutes long, but it's great. Or send a story. Like if Melanie had 6 kids, I'm going to send her that video about Marnie. Marnie has 7 kids because she'll relate to somebody else. So know a few videos. Have, I'd say, probably 4 to 5 videos in your phone saved, so that as people, when you want to show the opportunity, you've got a video that they can relate to. Okay. I hope this helps you guys build confidence with team building. All right. Have a great day.